Alright, so this is Matt and Ashley and Matt and Jess's group, and we decided to we wanted to see whether or not a three-digit number is divisible by 7. So we created a program in Excel as well as using Wolfram Alpha and this thing right here, just to kind of talk about whether or not a number is divisible by 7 and to figure that out. So first thing we're going to do is, with this extra normal thing, is going to kind of introduce the topic. Extra normal is this way to create a video using characters and different motions and backgrounds and stuff that you just type in the text of what you want them to say, and then they basically act it out. And it's a really cool technology to use in the classroom, so I thought I'd kind of introduce our topic by using this. It took me like 10 minutes to put together. I've had a couple teachers and other students use this, and it's a fun way to get your students interested in what you're going to be talking about. And you can even teach a lesson this way, but here, we'll start this from the beginning and check it out. Whoops.
Why, hello, President Obama. I dare say something has been bothering me lately. Honest Abe, always a pleasure to see your face. What's on your mind? It is something mathematical. Are you sure you can help? Of course I can, Abe. I'm a mathematical genius. Oh, what a relief. Here's my issue. I need to figure out a way to test if a number is divisible by 7. Ah, tough. But I think I can help. Oh, really? Yes. My friends in Math 326 made a screencast that explains how to test if a number is divisible by 7. Sorry about this celebration. Go on. Well, they made a spreadsheet in Excel that can tell you if a number is divisible by 7. They also used Wolfram Alpha. I think this screencast will help you out a lot. Great. Let's watch it. I cannot wait.
Alright, so that might be a little jumpy because of the screencast, but again, just kind of a fun thing to do with your students. So that kind of introduces what our topic is, which is to finding out if a number is divisible by 7. So we have a worksheet to go along with this, and that is right here. So here it just has your name and says, alright, using Excel and Wolfram Alpha, we're going to figure out if a number is divisible by 7. So it says to go to wolframalpha.com, which I already have pulled up, and basically you're going to plug these things into Wolfram Alpha and say, like, is 175 divisible by 7? Is 231 divisible by 7? And it'll give you an answer like yes or no or true or false or something. And then based on the ones that are divisible by 7, we'll plug into Excel, and then Excel will kind of show us an algorithm, and then based on the algorithm, the students will answer these questions like, do the numbers get smaller or larger? Does it appear that they're increasing or decreasing by a set amount? And then kind of the difference between the numbers. And the goal is for the students to recognize this algorithm and say, okay, why is this number divisible by 7 based on the numbers in the algorithm that show up? So we're going to do a couple of them. We're going to do these problems in Wolfram until we get one that is divisible by 7, and then we'll plug it into Excel. So we'll do 175. So is 175 divisible by 7? And this says yes, it is. So we're going to go into Excel, into the file we made, and put in 175 and see what we get. So the basics of this Excel program is basically you put in a number here, and then right here it's going to tell you if it's divisible by 7 or not. And then based on what number you put in, there's going to be a rundown of a bunch of different numbers that follow a certain algorithm. So if we put 175 here, it says 175 is divisible by 7, and then shows all of these different numbers. And what the student is supposed to see, you're supposed to look at, okay, how do these numbers differ? Is it a set amount that they're difference from, like 165 to 155, is that the same varying as 155 to 145? And they're supposed to look at this and see, well, why does it work out that 175 is divisible by 7? Like, what kind of patterns are in here? This program is particularly designed for three-digit numbers. I believe it works with two-digit numbers, but the algorithm doesn't necessarily work out. Like if we were to put in 14 here, which we know is divisible by 7, so 14 divided by 7 is 2, it gives us that 14 is divisible by 7, but it doesn't give us any algorithm. And I think that's because with two-digit numbers, um, the algorithm doesn't work out as well, except with three-digit numbers it does. Like even if you were to put in 84, which is 7 times 12, wait, yeah, 7 times 12, it gives you this algorithm. Well, I guess that one does work, but say we did 56. Okay, well, the point of this algorithm is that it takes the rightmost digit of the number, multiplies it by 2, so 6 times 2, and then subtracts that number from the original number. So 6 times 2 is 12, and 56 minus 12 is 44. And then it keeps doing that until it gets to, it hits some number in here, some two-digit number that's divisible by 7. But in this case, none of these are divisible by 7, yet it still works out that 56 is divisible by 7, and that's because the number that we started with, 56, is a two-digit number small enough that you're supposed to be able to recognize that right away it's divisible by 7, and the algorithm doesn't really work for that. But it's more intended for larger three-digit numbers. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of our presentation here, is that they use wolfram alpha to kind of see if it's divisible by 7 or not. Then they put in the number in Excel if it is divisible by 7, and they look at so why is this number divisible by 7? So if they were to put in say 122, okay, 122 is divisible by 7, but you can't right away recognize why. So they look at all these numbers and try and find patterns between them, and eventually it hits a number like 42 that is divisible by 7. So that's how it tells, okay, yes, this number is divisible by 7, because one of these numbers ends up being divisible by 7, in this case 42. And our goal is, with this worksheet, to kind of help the students figure that out by following, answering these questions, and then possibly even figuring out what the algorithm is and why it works, and if they could even write a function right here. Can you write a function for this algorithm that explains how it works? So that was the gist of it. The extra normal cartoon thing was just a cool way to introduce what we decided to do, and yeah, that's pretty much our project. The Excel thing was it's kind of difficult to do. If you can maybe see up here. I'll see if I can drag this down. I can't, but what went into these boxes is actually lots of different if-then statements, and we use some mods in all of these different these boxes here, just to kind of see, well, if there's a number divisible by 7 in here, then once this keeps on going down, and once this would be less than 7, like if you did 18, 8 times 2 is 16, 18 minus 16 is 2, we stopped it at when it would be less than 7, because we didn't want to keep going to the negative numbers. So that's the gist of our presentation. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.